guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles and welcome to Motivational Monday, where I choose a different quote, saying, scripture. I either use an experience from my life or I use an experience that you guys sent in to go over with you guys and to give us motivation for the week. I do want to remind you guys to feel free to send in any inspirational or motivational stories to Btalks@yahoo.com. This way, you know, it's a safe platform. It's a way for us to share and motivate others. Before we get into the video though, be sure to give me a big thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into the video. So the quote that I chose today is, let me go ahead and pull it back up on my phone, is you inspire those that pretend not to see you. And if you guys have been following Motivational Monday, then you know that I choose quotes that are really dear to my heart and that I feel like would be helpful to not only me but to the rest of us. If you guys can hear that noise, I am inside of my car obviously, and I do have the heat on, so please bear with me. I'm in Michigan. I would record with it off, but it's freezing today. Yeah, I want to really use that quote because I feel like so many of us get discouraged with social media. You know, I made a video a few months back about some ways that you can train yourself not to become discouraged by social media. So if you want to go check that video out, be sure to do that. But I want to dive right into this video. So the first thing that I want to go over is never allow the lack of likes to discourage or stop you. And I say that because a lot of people will start posting, if you notice, and then they'll stop posting. You know what I mean? Like they'll start posting and then they'll just stop. And I feel like if you are on a momentum where you're getting a lot of likes, then it kind of keeps you motivated to do more. And then if you're posting things and you're like, wow, I only got 2 likes, or wow, I only got 5 likes, or wow, I didn't get any likes today, it can start to play with your mind to the point that you're like, you know what, I'm just going to stop posting because no one is really paying attention to me. But I want to encourage you guys and let you guys know that people still do see what you post, whether they click the like button or not. And even if they follow you, and if you have a public page, a lot of people will follow you and a lot of people won't follow you, but you can see how many people actually come into your profile. Even if it's just a few people, you never know really how big of an impact you had on those few people's lives and how much of a inspiration you were to those few people. So, you know, you have to start somewhere. And I just want to, you know, remind you guys and put that out there that just because you're posting something and you're not getting oodles of likes does not mean that no one sees you. People are still seeing what you're doing. So keep going. The second thing that I want to talk about is learn to stand strong even if it's alone. So even if you are the only person that, you know, you feel is really on board with what you're doing, whether it be starting a business, whether it be creating a program, whether it be whatever you're doing, even if you're alone, because there are times where I felt like I was completely alone, still do it, because you have to realize that what you're doing and the excitement that you get from the fulfillment of doing, you know, what's in your heart is not going to be perceived to everyone. And just because everyone isn't, you know, necessarily happy, or just because everyone isn't, you know, on board with what you're doing, doesn't mean that you should stop. You know, you have to learn, especially being an entrepreneur, on how to stand. Let me try to fix this. On how to stand alone. You know, there are going to be some times where you're going to be alone. And, you know, especially, like I said, being a creator, being an entrepreneur, thinking differently than a lot of people. Like I said before, you're going to have times when you're walking on that journey alone, and when you're saying things that a lot of people around you won't really resonate with and won't really understand. And so a lot of people will say, you know what, I'm just stopping. It's easier to fit in. It's easier to kind of push who you are aside to blend in with the crowd, but it's never worth it because you never really feel like yourself, and you never really feel like you're fulfilling your purpose. So I'm just letting you guys, or reminding you guys, that it's okay to be alone. Sometimes, like I said, you're going to have to do things where you are going to be alone. Your friends are going to be attached to your hip. Your family isn't going to be attached to your hip. Your supporters or followers aren't going to be attached. Sometimes you just have to take a leap out and be okay with being by yourself. Another thing I want to touch base on is understand that there are silent people who are motivated by what you do and are too nervous or shy or self-conscious to let you know. So there's a lot of people that follow you that you may not know of that are just too shy, too nervous, or self-conscious, like I said, to kind of come out and let you guys know. There was one person, I'm not going to mention their name, but I was really inspired by something they were doing, and I contacted them privately, and I just let them know, you know, thank you for being you, and thank you for giving me inspiration, because I think that's really important. You know, so many people are quick to say something negative. If you go through people's comments, or if you look at people's posts, there are so many comments and so many people just ready to jump on the bandwagon of negativity. And so I really feel like if it's something that I really like, or if there's something that touched me, I really try to make it a point to let that person know, because I would want someone to do that to me as well. And so just because people aren't necessarily reaching out to you. Now, not everyone's going to feel, obligated to reach out to you, and not everyone's going to feel comfortable. There are some people that are, like I said before, very shy, because I was very shy. And before I started my business, I really didn't reach out to anyone. There were a lot of women that would motivate me. There were a lot of people in general that I would be like, wow, this really makes me want to do something. This really makes me want to act. And I would be nervous. I would be too nervous to reach out to them, or I would just not think about it, or I would just scroll past and go throughout my day, go through with my day. And it wasn't that, they weren't inspiring me. It was just that for whatever reason, I really didn't take the extra step to let them know. So just because people aren't reaching out to you or giving you the type of reaction that you're expecting from your post or from what you do does not mean that they don't see you. Some people just don't know how to come at you, or some people are just too busy. I know it sounds horrible, but sometimes we just get too busy with us that we kind of forget to say, you know what, I should have told this woman thank you, or I should have reached out and told this person how much they impacted my life. So keep that in mind, you guys. Also, this is a really, really good point that I want you guys to really sit and think about. Social media is a popularity contest. Just because you're not popular does not mean that you're not valid. So you guys, I have firsthand experiences where people would actually, I would post something, and then like 5 minutes later, another person that was my friend would post literally the same exact thing, and I would have no likes on my Facebook, and they would have literally like 100 within the first 10 minutes, and it would be literally the exact same thing. You can see that I posted mine first. You can see that we're both friends, and I don't want to automatically assume that anyone took what I said or copied off my post, but after a while of the same thing happening, it kind of looks that way. And so what I had to teach myself is social media is a popularity contest. You can try this with anyone. You post something and you can post the exact same thing as someone else with a lot of friends, or someone else is kind of popular in the community, and you literally will have a few likes and they will have lots and lots of likes. And that really taught me that just because I'm posting something and I'm not getting any likes from it does not mean that no one's seeing it, and does not mean that it's not valid, because a lot of people agree with you, but like I said, a lot of people are nervous to stand by themselves. So if you look at someone's post and they have no likes, that's going to discourage a lot of people. Now, not everyone, but a lot of people may be saying, hey, no one liked this, I'm not going to be the first one to like it, or hey, no one tried this, I'm not going to be the first one to try it. And so you have to realize that there's a lot of different people in this world. People think differently. Everyone's mind is, shaped differently by their experiences and, different things. So just because you post something and you're like, wow, this is really true, I felt like this is a really good message, I felt like this is really going to help people, it is going to help people. Like I said, everyone has different preferences. So sometimes on Instagram, I guess it's like a numbers game. So a lot of people will be like, hey, I'm not going to follow this person because I don't want to look like I'm following a lot of people, or I'm not going to follow, even though they really do want to stay up with what you're doing. So keep that in mind too, you guys. Social media is like it's something different, and like I said, it is popularity driven. And so you don't have to be popular to be truthful. Also, this is going to end the video and wrap everything up. So less focus on numbers and more focus on your mission. So like I was just mentioning, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff is like a numbers game. And I remember when I had a specific job, my boss would always say, I'm a numbers person, I'm a numbers person, I'm a numbers person. And I really couldn't really correlate with that, because yes, although we're in sales, and although you need to pay attention to numbers, you need to make money to stay in business, you have to focus more on your mission than you focus on your numbers. That's me, period. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree. A lot of people are going to feel differently, but I always focus on my mission. So even when I was, working for that particular boss, and I was working in the financial industry, it was actually a credit union. I'm like, I cannot just jump past a certain member to focus on a number, or to focus on how much this person can bring to the credit union, or to focus on how much money this person can bring to our business. I'm more focused on how I can really leave an everlasting impression on this member, how I can grow a relationship so that this member feels comfortable coming back, so that this member spreads word of mouth about our company, so that this member feels comfortable and knows that we're working not just for them but for our community, and knows that we're different than any other banking institution, because we truly care about the members at heart, not just the numbers. And so I would go back and forth with that. I would always say I'm not just a numbers person. Even in my business now, a lot of you guys have reached out to me and I've given you guys free advice. I give free advice on my YouTube channel. I'm not just a person driven solely by money or solely by numbers. And so don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, even for Instagram, there'll be some people that post pictures and they're half naked. And I'm not judging anyone. Whatever you decide to do is your life. But I'm just saying that a lot of people go to extreme measures to try and get likes or to try and get follows. And it's just like, at some point, you have to be focused more on your mission and focus more on your purpose than you are about getting gratitude and numbers and following from people. A lot of people, you know, they struggle with this because they're like, you know, if I'm a social media influencer, or if I'm posting videos, or if I'm doing this, if I'm doing that, then obviously I need people to follow me. You're right. You need people to follow you. You need people to, you know, engage with what you're doing. But just because people aren't following you does not mean that they're not engaging with your content. And just because you don't have oodles and oodles of subscribers does not mean that you're doing necessarily anything wrong. And so once we stop focusing on just the number of people that are following us, but actually our true mission and what we're trying to get out, and really focus on our purpose, I feel like a lot of things come together, especially for me. If you look at my social medias, I don't have the highest number of followings. Even my YouTube channel, I don't have the highest number of subscribers. But my goal is not necessarily the subscriber count, but it's really on providing quality content that can really help and motivate other women. You know, since I've started my YouTube channel, I cannot tell you how many people have reached out to me, wrote me letters, calls, text messages on how much my messages have really helped them and motivated them. And I can actually see, even with my drop shippers, some of them that started that were really scared to actually take a leap to get started with their business, and now they're actually in their business, they're making orders, they're making sales, their website looks, you know, different from when they first started, and they're growing. And they're not only just growing, but they're helping others with the information that they learned from maybe a video of mine, from, you know, different things that we went over and their experience. And so it's a beautiful thing. You know, like I said, it's all about doing something that you feel fulfilled with. It's not just about the money. I feel like if you start focusing on just the money, just the likes, just the posts, some of your judgment can start to get skewed. You know, some of it's like, okay, what can I post just to get a view? What can I post just to get a like? What can I do, instead of like, what actually is coming from my heart, and what message do I really feel motivated to give to help others? You know what I mean? And that may sound corny to some people, like, oh my God, who just want, but truly, you guys, try it. If you've never really tried to help anyone or motivate anyone else, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But if you really, you know, helping someone else feels good. Being able to share what you know feels good. And so that's what I really wanted to get out in this video to you guys. It's not just about, like I've been saying, the amount of love or support that you can visibly see, but sometimes it's about the actual mission. And to be honest with you guys, there's some posts that I've made and I've had 2 likes, but off that post I've had over 5 emails, and the emails were so long and in depth, and it really touched my heart. And so I'm someone where it's like, you don't really, you know, I love to be supported, and I love, you know, who doesn't like likes and good comments and things like that, but I also love the things that are behind the scenes that a lot of people may not see, you know, because ultimately it's not really about, like I said, just the numbers to me, or just how it looks to me. It's really about doing something that I'm passionate about, and just growing and growing as women, growing together. So I really hope this video helped you guys. I really hope that you found some motivation, some inspiration out of it. If you guys have any questions, be sure to comment them down below. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.